In this video, I will show you how to find scientifically based research articles through the library's databases. Let's start on the library's homepage, which is library.pba.edu. Now that we're on the homepage, let's click on the Databases link. This will allow you to access the library's more in-depth research databases. This video is being made specifically for education students, so I will be showing how to search an education database. Let's click where it says All Subjects and look at the databases specifically for education. Now that we see the 16 databases for education, you can see that ERIC ProQuest is an index of journal article citations. This is one of the top databases for the education field, so I'll be showing you how to search this database. When you click on the database, if you're off campus, it will ask you to sign in with your PBA username and password. After you've logged in, you can type your keywords into the search boxes. You can see that I've set up a search here for you. For example, let's say you're doing research on the achievement gap. The first thing that you need to know about the library databases is they're not very good with long phrases or questions or sentences. You have to take your keywords and put them in the right boxes. It's almost like we're kind of speaking a computer language in a way that the computer can understand. So I put the term achievement gap in the first box. That's the first aspect of my topic. If I need to do an annotated bibliography about the achievement gap, that's the first part. You may notice that I use quotation marks here, and the reason why I did that is because I want the exact phrase achievement gap. I don't just want achievement or gap, I want specifically articles that mention the achievement gap, those words next to each other. Now, if I searched for just achievement gap and didn't put any other keywords, I would get about 3,000 articles. Now that is too many articles, so I want to narrow down my search. Every time you have an and, you're narrowing down your search. I could actually keep adding rows. See, when I click here, I could have more ands. But every time I narrow down or add an and, I'm being more specific and I'm going to get less articles back. For the purpose of this search, I just want to narrow the achievement gap to a specific student group that I might be working with. So you can see here, I want articles about the achievement gap as related to limited English speaking students. Again, this is a phrase. It's something that's more than one word, so I used quotation marks here. The other key that you can use is the word or. As I mentioned, and narrows down your search and makes it more specific, or will expand your search and give you more articles. So if you can think of any synonyms or any other ways to say your keyword, you can type them on the same line in the same box and connect them with the word or. So another term for limited English speaking could be English language learners. Try your best to think of synonyms, but I'm also going to show you a trick of how to see what words or keywords the ERIC database uses, and then you can come back and you can put those in your search. The last thing I want to do before I click search is check off this box for peer reviewed. Peer reviewed means that the article is reviewed by a panel of experts in the field before it's published to make sure that it's really high quality. They're not just looking at the grammar or their spelling, but it's experts or peer reviewers that are reviewing that article to make sure the research is high quality. All right, let's click search. Because I put time into the keywords, I have 154 results. Remember, if I had just put achievement gap and hadn't included any of this, I would have gotten 3,000. So part of doing research is figuring out how broad or how narrow you have to make your search. You can also narrow your search by using the filters on the left. The more you can filter your results, the more time you will save yourself. For example, I might want to just look at scholarly journal articles as opposed to reports. Sometimes a professor will want you to just use journal articles, so that's the limiter you can use. Another limiter you can use would be the date. Some professors want you to do the last 10 years or last 5 years, or it might depend on your topic. For example, if you're doing a technology topic, you would want the most up-to-date articles, versus if you were doing a historical topic, you might look at older articles. For the purposes of this video, I will change it to 2010 and then update. Another filter I would recommend using would be the document type. In order to make sure you're getting scientifically based research, click on the one that says 143 reports-research. That's the way that Eric describes empirical research. That would be research that is more experimental in nature, where they have designed a study and they have participants, they've collected data, and they're going to make their decisions based off of data as opposed to just experience or theories. Finally, it might not be required for your assignment, but you also have the option of filtering by education level. So if you know that you want to specifically look at the achievement gap for a certain student group at a certain education level, you have that option. You can see here there's elementary education, secondary education, higher education. I can click on more to see all of the options, and then I can choose to include whichever ones interest me. For the purposes of this, I'm just going to look at elementary education. Then I'll click apply. Wow, now I've gone from 154 to 32 that are recent, that will likely be scientifically based research studies, elementary education, and that match my keywords. In order to actually get to the articles, I can click on these Find It and Full Text links. But I do have a suggestion for you. Before you click on that, click on this link that says Show Abstract. This will bring up the abstract, which is a summary of what the article is about. That way, you can read a summary to see if it's something that will be interesting or helpful to you before you spend the time either getting or reading the entire article. Remember how I said you can also see what keywords are used by Eric? This is the area that I was talking about. So those ones that I used in my search, I actually got from looking at articles and looking at the keywords they use. So achievement gap, limited English speaking, English language learners. This is a great way to find keywords that you might want to put in your search. Once I decide that this is an article I'm interested in, I can click on this Find It button. That means we don't have the article in this database, but it's going to search to see if we have the article anywhere else. So let's click where it says Find It. So we don't have this one as full text, but we do have an option to order articles or to get it for you. We have a service called Interlibrary Loan. You just have to sign in first, which I did earlier, so it's signing me in. And then you click where it says Interlibrary Loan Request. It fills out all of your information for you, and then you click the Request button. Usually articles can come within a few business days, and they're sent to your PBA email. Let's look back at some of the other ones. This one you can see says Get Full Text. If I click on this link, it should take me directly to the article. Here's that abstract I was talking about, and you want to look around until you see something that says Download Full Text or has a PDF icon. When you click this link, here is the article for you, and you have an option to download it to your computer by clicking on this arrow with the line. I highly recommend, if you find an article you like, to download it to your computer so that you have it saved. Let me show you one more example. Sometimes when you click on this Find It button, we do have the article in full text. So you can see here, this time it says, yep, the resource is available at Sage Premier. This was just a different company, but I can click on the link. And once again, I'm going to look around until I see something that says download or PDF. And here it is on the side, download PDF. That's what will actually pull up the article for me, and I can save it to my computer. This database also has options for citing things, emailing things to yourself. If you want to do that, just check off the article you're interested in, and then you can click on the Cite button here. Just keep in mind, this is the 6th edition of APA that it's showing me in this video, and you may be needing to write at the 7th edition. These are good first drafts, but they need to be corrected and fixed before they're turned into your professor. If you're not sure about APA style, I'd recommend making an appointment with the Center for Writing Excellence and asking them about fixing these citations. If you have any questions about this video or any of my other videos, remember on the library's homepage there's a section that says Ask Us that has ways to contact the librarians, including our contact information.